You need to then establish if their spouse is free at the same time. This is in order to obviously bring both to the presentation. So, John, oh, that's great, you're free. Listen, your wife Mary, is she possibly free? Could you possibly ask her? So give them their time, get them to establish whether both are free. If the wife's not free, and she'll probably all say no, that's fine as well. But at least you've got John coming to the presentation. Once you've established that they're free, you then can roll into the actual invite. Because remember, at this point, they're now curious, why are you asking them all these questions? And that's good. If they're querying, if they're saying, yeah, I'm free, but, what's this all about? Or remember, a lot of them think that this is a timeshare selling spree, so they're going to be very nervous. They're probably going to be quite abusive as well. So understand that. And if you understand that from the beginning, it makes it much easier. So let's get into the invite. The invite here, in this case, I've got a script here that we can read out. The reason I'm calling is I'm involved in a new business opportunity. And I immediately thought that you may be interested. It's an ADSL phone, which can help you save between 20 and 50% of your phone bill. Now, there's a businessman that's actually presenting at my home on Tuesday night, or at my home on Wednesday night, whichever night you've set the date. And I really thought you'd be interested to come and meet this businessman and actually understand what this business opportunity is about. So it'll be great that you can attend. So you can create whatever you want there that you feel comfortable with. Once you've done that, once you've created the invite, the most important point now is to confirm their attendance. What is your objective? Your objective is to have 25 confirmed prospects in your home. So repeat it as many times as you possibly can. Great, John, I'm glad that you can come. Just to confirm, it's Tuesday night, 8 p.m. at my house. You know how to get there, don't you? Try and make it easy as well. And the last thing before you put down the phone is to drum that time and date in their head. You don't want to carry on chit-chatting. Now you've lost it, because the last thing they need to think about when you're putting down the phone is when is that meeting. And once you get there and once you've practiced that, you'll find that it becomes so easy, and generally it works. We're trying to cut down all the excuses from the beginning and trying to maximize the number of people that attend these presentations. So, we've got to the presentation, the businessman has made a good job of it, and your prospect is really keen to get started. Even if they're interested or not, you need to follow up. You need to get to them and discuss this with them. And if they're not interested, that's fine. Make them feel relaxed, and make a note in your diary to phone them in the future. Maybe give them 2 or 3 weeks and then give them a call again. If they're keen, obviously this allows you to connect with them, help train them to set up prospects, make 2 or 3 phone calls with them, and start the whole process again. And set up a home meeting in their home. At the end of the day, if you really want to build a big group network, it's home meeting to home meeting to home meeting. 25, 25, 25 in a home. And the more you can put in a home, the quicker and bigger your business is going to grow. Edification. Now, I said this was quite a word in the beginning, and it is. And I feel is one of the most important when growing a network and business model. Edification is really what helps you develop culture in your business. What is your objective? And I'm talking about your objective. What is your dream? What is your goal? And I would say 99% of everyone's dream and goal is to retire. Now, if you want to retire, it means that you want to bring in an income that exceeds your expenses, but also you don't want to work again. Why work? Why? I'd rather be sitting on the beaches of Mauritius and the beaches of the world than be active in a day-to-day pressurized business. So, how do you develop that culture so that you never have to work again is really what edification is all about. And edification essentially allows you to pass power onto people and also to receive power. Now, what I mean by power, it's not physical power or political power or anything like that. It's about respect, I would say, is probably a stronger word to maybe use in this case. And an example would be if, as I've written here, a dealer introduces a new prospect to you. Now, the dealer itself hasn't got power. You as a businessman or the presenter have in essence a power. And by passing that back onto the dealer, allows that new prospect to feel that they're part of a team. And that you do publicly. So a new dealer introduces you to a new prospect. You can then say to the new prospect and welcome them and chit-chat, and then you can say, you know, Miss John, the fact that you're with Dave, stick closely to that guy because this guy's going to grow a big business. And that allows John to work with Dave rather than John always coming to you to ask questions. Ultimately, you want John to work with Dave, and you just provide a mentoring perspective of the business. So that's edification. Building depth, again, is very important to give you that long-term stability income. Now, I'm not too sure if you understand network marketing or been involved in network marketing. But if essentially you have frontline dealers, those are dealers you've personally introduced to the business, and they link to you via computer. And those dealers are going to find dealers are going to be linked to them. And that's building depth. So you've got frontline, and then you're going to grow depth. Depth is going to give you stability, frontline is going to give you profitability. And you want to find the right mixture of both. And that's really quite important. Focus on depth. Depth is extremely important. If you've got a hot dealer that's just signed up underneath you and you've done a home meeting in their home and they've got a couple of hot dealers, you're going to be working with them and building depth as far as possible. I would say don't even stop building depth until you're about 20 levels down. At 20 levels down, you've got a host of dealers in that leg who are able to carry on that business. You've developed the edification culture. It's going to grow naturally. Once you've established 20 levels down, you can then move on to another leg and build that the same way as you've done previously. And really, if you fine-tune this business and hone in onto finding prospects, introducing them, and growing business and growing depth, you're going to have a very, very profitable business, and I would say 2 to 5 years from now. Now, the last point that's quite important is attend all meetings. Now, if your vision is short-term, in other words, you want to just focus on customers, you're going to work during the day and maximize your profit that way, that's great. And I wouldn't suggest that you come to too many meetings. Come to the product training meetings because those are important. You understand about the product. But these other meetings and the introductory presentations are really geared to grow a group network. So focus on your customers and growth that way. If your vision is long-term, in other words, you want that retirement income, then I would attend all meetings possible. Now, why do you do that? Because all these meetings are repeated anyway. Yes, you're going to become bored. It's the same message put out all the time. But if you're active, you then become the leader in your organization. You're going to drive your business, and through that driving, you're going to grow and maximize your profitability and ultimately your retirement. So if your downline sees you coming to meetings, they're going to be excited because you're growing the business, you're active. They're going to bring people, they're going to come to meetings, and over time, you then can actually decide whether you want to attend that meeting or not. Your culture's grown, and that's what's so important. So remember, you're the leader. You're the leader in your organization. Show an example. Attend meetings. Whether you're bored or not is immaterial. I always say to all my dealers, attend at least one meeting a week. And that's possibly the introductory presentation. Come to at least the introductory presentation. Treat that as what I call an open presentation because it's always set on a particular day at a particular time. Come to that meeting and bring a new prospect to that. And if you do that and forget about everything else, you're going to naturally grow your business. Why? Because the new prospect's going to come to the next meeting. They're going to bring a new prospect. You're going to bring a new prospect.